me give you my name. My name is Mario Dono. I was in the Air Force. I was security forces. So you were combat arms. We have combat arms. We have cops. We have people. When we go overseas, we do security with, and we attach to some units as far as like going into like towns, cities, doing snap TCPs, intel, a bunch of stuff. And I've been out for June will be 2 years, and it was hard. Last year I had no hair. Now I have all this hair. So, and I was going through it, and I was working at a hospital doing security there, and I was working with people directly who had PTSD and all these things, but they had hit rock bottom. So I'm working at a hospital where like if they do certain things, you have to put them in straps. So it wasn't like really helping my mental. So I had to move from that. And then I work for the county now doing security for 3rd Ave. And you guys know where that is. So I went from one extreme to the next extreme. Just talking about my life at this point, you know. But I say all that because my military experience was great. I got to go to a bunch of places. I went to Afghanistan twice. But that part was hard for me because of the fact that when I did it and when I went, you go and you have I'm gonna protect the red, white, and blue. I'm gonna be like all these movies. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. And then you get there and you're like, what the is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like you don't understand sometimes why you're there. And about 16 months out of the 16 months, I didn't understand, but I was there for a purpose, and I served that purpose. I lost some friends. The first time we lost some people to bombings and stuff like that, plane crashes, like it was nuts. The second time, I lost some friends too, and it's weird because with Air Force as opposed to like infantry and stuff like that, we're 98% of the 97% of let's say 98% of it is not on the front lines. You know what I mean? But we have that small percentage that do go and do that stuff. And the second time I was out there, I wasn't, but I was still connected to all those people. So you see them coming off base and every day, and I see them come on base, but this time they had body bags, and it ended up being he was in a motorcycle, not a car, and he had and the motorcycle was weighed down, and he had bombs in the motorcycle. You know what I'm saying? People like to say they're stupid, but it's far from that. They're putting bombs underwater now. You know what I'm saying? So that's ridiculous. But you know, 6 people that were there, I think four got killed. And that stuck with me the most because when you get deployed, you kind of like you're a family out there. And when you're out there, that's all you got. Like I didn't talk to my family as much as I talked to the people that was next to me, even the people I didn't like. And there was a lot of people, but it's all good. So that happened, and that was the first deployment I had met them. Well, the second deployment, you don't expect to see the same people that you were in the deployment with last time because with the Air Force, we're all separate. Like we're not under like cavalry or all these other things. It's not a bunch of people, you know. It's a bunch of sub like groups. Each group has like each cop. We're all cops, but we're all on different bases. So you all deploy together. So you know, big Air Force. They deployed these guys, and we got to see them again. And I was close to them to a certain extent, but they came back. They went off, but they came back, and they were just dead. And I speak about that because that's the one that stuck with me the most. I mean, suicide, and I've had there's some friends that have committed suicide. There's some friends that have drank themselves to oblivion. There's some friends that unfortunately got killed. And in certain aspects, I had survivor's remorse. And the PTSD and everything else rang out more after I got out. I can't make the same jokes that I was making because if you make the jokes that we make, we'll all laugh. If I make the jokes around you, you're gonna be like, what is wrong with him? I don't understand, you know? And I wasn't walking around with confidence. I got married a couple years ago. Small ball and chain right there. She made life harder. No, I'm just kidding. She's gonna hit me in the car, guys. But she's been the person that has helped me the most. And the VA helped. But when you know you have all these problems anyway, and they kind of tell you, It's like someone telling a story that they forgot they told you, like that old grandpa that you have that tells the same 3 stories all the time, and other aspects of my father. And he'll tell the same stories, and you kind of got to go with it. And that's what happened with me. Last year, I was speaking, and it's funny, Seattle Times took a picture of me it was not fun. I was mad. I was like, God, I look ugly in that picture. Anyway, so I got my hair cut before I came. No, I'm just kidding. This is how I deal with my stress. You know what I mean? This is how I deal with my stuff, because I was going to be the 22 each day. You know what I'm saying? Got mad at myself because I failed at that too. But I'm glad I failed because I'm here today. And it was attacking everything that he said in the beginning. My wife kind of, let's go downtown. No. Let's go downtown. No. I said, let's go downtown. Okay. So we'll go downtown and I'll do my thing. I'll be like this in a bar, but I'll still go downtown. I still do things in groups and stuff, even though in my mind it's like saying, let me out of here. You know what I'm saying? And I do what I'm supposed to because I know that it's going to make me a better person. I'm actually starting school too in January. It's funny. I knew I was going to go to Seattle Central, and I spoke with a vet guy in there. And when I walked in, my picture was on the door. I don't even know. I've never been there a day in my life. I was like, well, this is weird. I guess I'm supposed to be here, you know? Yeah, he's that guy right there. You're never in there, man. You're like a unicorn. It's the first time I ever mentioned. You know, I say you're like a unicorn because you know they exist, but you can't ever find them. No, I'm just playing. And I'm saying this with laughter and happiness because I haven't been happy in a long time. And yes, I was deployed, and yes, I have PTSD, and yes, I have anxiety and depression, and I'm pigeon-toed sometimes when I walk. But it's all relative. It all ends up being like, I don't need to be treated different because I am that. And last year I was saying something to the effect of, no, we have issues, but you can't relate. And it's still the truth. But the thing is that we ask for help, and it's like, oh, well, he's a veteran. You know what I mean? We ask for, hey, this is what's going on. It's all good. We get that y'all, not everybody, but we get that people, let's just say that. We get that people think that we're like some anomaly, like we're different. And we are. We have done things and seen things that we don't ever want to necessarily talk about. But at the same time, understand that it takes us time to get used to everything. I've been out 2 years and I'm still not used to you guys. And there's nothing wrong with you. You're very nice people. But the problem with being nice people is you're too nice sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like if someone is blind, and when you always hear the adage when you talk to them, some people talk louder. Hey, how you doing? I can still hear. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing. We know we're vets. We know we've been through stuff, and we know that life's going to be better. But the thing about that is sometimes you got to let us get better. Family, and I'm talking really just families and stuff. If you have vets that don't necessarily talk to you as much, or you have vets that kind of are to themselves, in certain aspects you have to let them be by themselves. I mean, help them. Now, if they're to a point where you think they need help, call somebody, because they probably do need help. But if Mario's in the corner, you listen to his music, not trying to talk to somebody, just let Mario. No, that's this guy. Let Mario do that, because he probably is gonna freak out or something. You know what I'm saying? And that's the biggest thing I want to say. Like, be there for your family, be there for your friends, but understand that, you know, life is short, but understand that they're still gonna be here tomorrow, hopefully. You know, and that's what I want to really talk about. You said there's no women veterans today? None on the list. Okay, so there's none on the list. So I'll tell a story too. Everyone likes to say there's no women in combat. That's BS, because security forces, all the men, I went over I think it was like 60 to 70 men, I forgot, but we're around their missions, and we had, I want to say 16 to 21 people. I have to think about their names and stuff, but we had like 6 to 7 women with us, and every day we were in danger. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get contact or anything. The next group that I had with us got contact though. We didn't get contact or anything, but we still went out guns hot. What's contact, Mario? What's contact? I will tell you. I forgot your name. Contact is when someone comes at, like, when you're like, say just going down the road or whatever, and someone pops a shot at you, or someone shoots you or something, like someone shoots at you. That's making contact. The zone's hot. You're Rambo with the 60s. No, I'm just kidding. But and you do your thing. So that's contact. But we had those. I'm sorry. I'm nervous. But we had, even though it doesn't seem like it, right? But we had those things, and so we had women with us for all my deployments. And as much as I was security, they were security. As much as I was tough, they were tough. As much as I looked beat up, they looked beat up. So we were all good. You know what I'm saying? You guys get it. But and with everything that's going on in the world, I mean, let's say America, because we get not being political, but we get our business everywhere else. We don't need it sometimes. But with everything that's going on, understand that sometimes, like when you see a person that's younger, like I'm 30, but and I guess I am still younger, like 80% of this crowd, which is still good. God's good. God's good. He's in his house now. But when you deal with people that have like 18 and 19-year-olds that don't know their way, allow them. Like, you're allowed to make mistakes. Like, I got out of the military and it took me so long to get where I am. Like, but I also realized that I needed time. See, people get this thing in their head where I get out the military, I need to use my GI Bill, I need to do this, I don't want to be everything else, I want to do this, I want to do that, and it doesn't work. When you you're allowed to live your life. I was in the military 7 years and it felt like 30. You know what I'm saying? And with everything, as far as like you said something to the effect of like your Air Force now is like you go to school, you do this, you do that, then you do your job. Well, you do your job, and you must volunteer 100 hours and you do this. So it puts unmitigated pressure on you to a point to where I know people that kill themselves because they could not complete what the, I can't think of the word. They could not complete what was thank you so much, what it was expected of them. I had a friend who unfortunately did that, and security forces is like a black hole. Like that's the job in the Air Force that you don't want to be in, and for most part. And some people like it, but whatever. But he got out after 8 years. It took him forever to get out, and he got a DUI. And he thought putting a gun to his head would be better than going back and facing everybody that said, you guys ain't nothing, you ain't this. Well, look what happened. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all this pressure that the military puts on you now. You must always be on time. If I'm 10 minutes late, she might as well throw me out the car. It's that serious to me because it was drilled into us. You have to be on time. You have to be presentable. You have to make sense in anything and everything that you do. You must always be secure with who you are as a person because you're representing the Air Force and any other military branch. And life isn't like that. No one's on time. At my job, people are late all the time, and I'm like, okay, when are people getting here? So it's like I'm at a point where I'm realizing now I can be Mario again. I actually don't. I love this. I'm actually able to speak and enjoy being around veterans and like-minded people who understand it. We struggle, but being around regular people, I'm still getting through that. But I'm allowed to be normal now. And I was always talking about the military, and I was always talking about like. She always jokes on me because I was in the Air Force. I spent 7 years in Tucson, then I moved to Seattle in 2017. It's like I'm on a dating website or something. You know what I'm saying? And it's ridiculous. And I say it all the time. And I was in a bar with my wife, and this guy was talking to me. He goes, you know what? You're more than what you say. Continue to be you as a person. You don't have to talk about the military. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Because even though it's a part of who I am, and I was in it a quarter of my life, it doesn't mean that this is the last stop. And I think that's the most thing I wanted to get out in this series of whatever I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Because people like, yeah, was it my life? Yes. Was it something that I focused on? Yeah, but like I damn near flunked out of school. That's the reason I joined the military. It wasn't to bleed red, white, and blue and be next to Captain Planet and Captain America. You know what I'm saying? Like it was to serve a purpose, and I served that purpose. But now, like, I found my new purpose, and that new purpose is just to be Mario. And I'm pretty good at being Mario, I think. Unless there's another Mario in here, then we have to fight. No, I'm just kidding. But that's my life now. It's like I'm focused on being a better person. I'm focused on going to school. You know, it's hard to sign up at Seattle Central. I don't know. Anyway, I'm focused on going to school. I'm focused on being Mario Dunham, and I'm focused on life at this point in time because it's so much. It takes so much out of me when I have a mental like breakdown. I haven't had one in a while. I was driving last year. I was driving down 67, coming from Winco, and I had a panic attack. I have no clue why. And like it felt like my heart was dancing outside my chest going like this, you know what I'm saying? And I had to go to the VA hospital. And it was the scariest thing I met because I've never had a heart attack. I don't plan on having one, but my body might say something else. And that was the first time I was like, something needs to happen. You know, even though it doesn't seem like it, because I like to smile and all that other stuff, I constantly have triggers. Everything's a trigger. Everything, right? Like it sucks. This is a trigger because I'm around people that, hey, you're a vet, I'm a vet, cool. But everything's a trigger, especially downtown. Like walking into a mall, like going at Westlake, someone coming up to me saying, I can save you. No, you can't. You know what I'm saying? All these people, Seattle's just something else anyway. But all these triggers that I have, and I just had to learn to accept them. You know, at the end of the day, whatever your feelings are as far as the military and who we are as people, that's dope. I'm not a superhero. I was someone that did something to better myself. But that's the first thing I did. But then as I was ending and I was getting out, I was like, man, I got to go to Jordan. I got to see Petra. I got to go to Afghanistan. I have some funny stories from Afghanistan. Not all of it was bad. Like people, when we go to, they watch these movies from like Vietnam. I'm so sorry. Am I over time? Oh, am I over time? 1 minute. Okay, cool. I'm so sorry. I just talk. You know, we have real quick story. Not all of it for me was bad. The USO was amazing for that. But one story, we got sent out. And we thought this was like a tough mission. It was actually with Army EOD. And we had to blow up all these explosives, or they had to blow it up. We just had to get around. But all the Afghans would grab like the metal and go sell it. The problem is that when they blow a piece of metal up, it's like 5,000 degrees. So they're burning their hands, literally. So they were like, look, it ain't no type of mission. What we want you to do is corral everybody out the area. I've never seen people run so fast. We literally were standing on top of there's no guns, nothing. We were standing on top of our Humvees, scaring them out of the area so they can hit the metal. The most funniest thing about this guy left his herd. Like he had like 90 sheep, yes. And he had like 90 to 100 sheep. And he was gone. And you just see these sheep running with him. Like, and they were like, I said, how do we scare them? I don't know. Well, they're afraid to go. So I was like, okay. So I put my helmet on like this, and I was standing on top of the Max Pro, not a Humvee, I'm sorry. And I was like, woo! And they were like, what the heck is going on here? And they all ran. Anyway, I'm over my time, I guess. I'm so sorry. I did that last year. I'm gonna go over my time for year 3. Anyway, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. This is awesome. Thanks.